Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Pastor 2300 bringing you another top-tier Alpha X Pro replay cast, the series where we bring your favorite players to you. Whether you just missed them the first time or you just want to catch it again because it was so epic, that's what this series is here to do. And speaking of epic, we have two amazing players, so let's introduce them. Spawning down in the bottom position of Pillars of Gold, he is our Red Terran, BYUN. And his opponent up here in the top, he is our Blue Protoss, Patience. So the point of this series is to bring you all the best games that you may have missed from yesterday. This is the OlimoLeague 207, I believe, round of 32. If I recall correctly, but this is a best of 3 between these two players, and it was really epic. It was a really fun series. The thing about BYUN is that he has a lot of very interesting and amazing play styles, which allow him to really just be an amazing player to watch. And Patience is one of the best StarCraft II players in existence, winning so many different cups, so many different premier tournaments, that he has a legend of his own, and he is looking to take down BYUN in this best of 3 already, though, losing that first probe to the SCVs. Not the best there, but one thing to note is that BYUN has been going for these less early scouting builds, and essentially just deciding to go into very fast Hellions, which you can then push across the map. They are always making a bad joke. It is impossible to translate. You know what? The best jokes are the ones that you have no idea what's going on. And the thing about Patience is right now they are, he's a little bit cautious now, already starting up a bit of a wall just to make sure that he stays safe from any sort of Hellion run by. As we get the chat out of there. But BYUN going to be playing it a little bit crazy now. He's going to be lifting those Hellions straight into Patience's base. He does not want to waste time trying to break down an unbreakable wall. And I think that's going to be the best option for him here. Patience, though, already kind of assuming this out of BYUN. He's probably played against this quite a bit versus him. And got to get that shield battery nice and early just to make sure that he stays as safe as possible. So behind this, Patience is going to be going for a Twilight Council play. A couple of options he can do with that. He can go for DTs. I don't think that's as likely. It's more possibly just going to be a blink timing attack to try and catch BYUN when he's out on the map. I think that's going to be the best option for him, as DT is not going to really work too well for him. And there we go. We got the blink on the way. And now he does need to synchronize these shots if he is going to get the kills. Already 2 workers going down, but the shield battery saving so many more. It is out of energy, however, so now these guys do have a little bit more room to breathe, and this is actually going really poorly for Patience. He was expecting to kind of pick them off and block them away from the probes, but it just didn't work like that for him. A bit of a shield overcharge right now, going to save what is left, but 17 workers going down in that engagement. And now he just feels confident enough to bring that starport right back home. Now he can still be a little bit aggressive with this one Hellion. It's not going to get too many kills with the Stalkers in position, but it's still a bit of a nuisance that you do have to pay attention to until you kill it off right there. But now, taking a look at this army size, BYUN is starting to grow pretty darn well. It's also going to add in the siege tanks to the mix. So if Patience moves out on the map like he is, there is a good possibility that he is going to get picked off here. Does look like he is going to go pretty aggressive with this, however, and just look to end the game here and now before BYUN can get to that stage. Getting right on top of the siege tank. A couple of quick hits is going to be enough to take that down. Some nice pickoffs as well with the medevac going down and a couple of extra marines. So already this is looking pretty good for Patience, getting the damage that he needs without losing too much. Good blink back, gonna just try and stay out of that siege tank range for as long as possible. He would love to just blink on top of that, but BYUN very smartly just positioning his units in a way that that is going to be impossible without taking massive amounts of loss. I do think Patience has the right idea here, however. The big thing is he is not mining off 3 bases. He doesn't even look like he's going to go up to 3. He's kind of stuck on this, so you do need to keep BYUN back and keep him away. And he's doing a really good job of just keeping BYUN at home. Even going to deny a lot of mining time here, getting 4 worker kills, and just keeping them off the line for as long as possible. But you know, as time goes on, these siege tanks popping out quicker and quicker for BYUN. The second one falls, another one is about to pop as well, and that is actually going to be it. Patience taps out, and BYUN takes game number 1. Now, don't worry, this was a series, so there is going to be more games to come, and I'll see you in just a sec with game number 2. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with game number 2 of this best of 3 series. So without mincing words, let's introduce the players spawning down here in the bottom position. He is Patience. And up here in the top, his opponent, our blue Terran, he is BYUN. So BYUN is going to be going for what looks to be an interesting proxy location. Just going to be putting it a little bit further outside of his 3rd base across the rock formation. So this is kind of interesting, and I'll have to see what he decides to do with it, because he is going to be throwing on that additional gas production. So I do think that we're going to see a factory going on down with this. That's the only thing that really makes sense here, since we don't see any additional racks coming down. And yeah, he is gearing up for something here. And the thing is, Patience is already on top of things. He's scouting around the map, just looking for a good location. And he does see the factory, wants to get confirmation that there is a racks right next to this. And that is going to tell him everything he needs to know for right now. He doesn't really need too much else information other than, oh crap, what is coming my way? We do see he's actually going to be going for a little bit of a proxy location himself, it looks like. Going to throw down that pylon and maybe Stargate, just based off the positioning. I think that would be the best option for it. But time will tell, as Patience knows best. Looks like they're having a little bit of fun as well, singing an old anime song very randomly. So these guys just having a pretty good time with this as well, not really taking it 100% serious. Just, you know, there's no real point in getting angry at each other or being mad at each other just because you're playing a video game. It's always nice to see these players kind of interact with each other and just have a good time playing with each other. And every time I said each other, that's a drinking game. Now, we do have a couple of Hellions going to be coming on out. I believe the best thing to do after this, and considering he's throwing down the armory, I think he's actually going to go for Widow Mines behind this and go for a little bit of a 1-2 punch here. That's one of the best options that I feel, and BYUN does really enjoy these Hellion opening styles, which allow him to kind of pick and choose his follow-up, especially when it comes to either getting those Widow Mines out or just going for a very big Hellbat push behind it. The options are pretty much endless because he always dives in and he always finds damage with it, almost 90% of the time. But we see here the Widow Mines coming across as the Oracle actually going to make its way into the main base. Getting 2 workers right now. It's going to get a couple of more, I imagine. But right now, that's actually where his entire energy is focused. He does pull a lot of these probes and is going to kill off one of the Widow Mines, but the second one does go off, 3 workers going down. And behind it, the Hellions actually just going to dive on in and see what else they can kill. Now remember, it takes 3 Hellions to kill a probe in 1 shot, and that's essentially what you need for that shield battery, which is completely full. And you also need that Oracle for the Revelation, otherwise you cannot see these Widow Mines anywhere. So overall, BYUN, he's doing a really good job of kind of just playing this really scrappy Terran style, sending what few units he has across the map, and making it so hard for Patience to kind of engage this. But at the same time, if Patience is able to hold this off, which he should be able to pretty easily, then it really comes down to the fact that BYUN is sacrificing a lot of his macro to make this happen. So you can see he's not adding on the additional racks. He's not getting a 3rd CC, or even a 2nd CC, to be completely honest. So overall, you know, he's going to be hurting every single second that Patience is out here on the map. Now Banshee's on the way, but now there are Phoenix, and the Oracles do have enough Revelation energy just building up in their Revelation cells. So they are going to be able to get on top of that Banshee if it does make its way in. BYUN still kind of setting these little traps here and there for Patience. We do have those 2 Widow Mines hidden in the grass, just looking for one of those Oracles, and I think that would actually be the best thing for him if he can kill off the Oracles, because still, no Robo Facility, no Observers left. Now BYUN is going to be able to get in here. He does need 3 to 1 shot, but a couple of nice pickoffs actually going to prevent that from happening, and he does clean this up quite as easily. Nah, I think the big thing here is we got to see how much damage these Banshees can do. Already, Patience is on top of it, sending the Phoenix out to make sure that nothing is really going to get into the base from that side. And I think BYUN really just going to have to rotate these around and look for something to do, because he does need both of those Banshees to 1-shot the probes. Now Patience just kind of hanging around with the Oracles, sending a little bit of a trap of his own. That stasis trap is going to be pretty nasty if it goes off. But behind this, we finally do see some observers being made, just allowing Patience to be a little bit more safe when he decides to move out. And now we do see these Banshees going to be trying to come in, but they will get picked up pretty quickly. And yeah, as those fall, a lot of BYUN's options are starting to kind of go down, as he's only really mining a little bit from this base so far. It's not fully saturated. Currently only has 35 workers at 750 in the game. Now I think BYUN, again, is just in a little bit of trouble here. He is stabilizing because Patience is not moving out. And that's really buying BYUN the time he needs right now to get out these siege tanks, to get ready for some sort of push. But whatever push he decides to do is going to be pretty late, as we already have Colossus on the field. Oh, big stasis trap right there. Not going to be able to follow up on it, however, as there are plenty of reinforcements in the back. Now, BYUN is going to move out. He still has 42 army supply to the 45 of BYUN, or Patience, but that is a lot of supply gone into the stasis trap again. So now Patience can really just kind of pick apart this army a little bit, piece by piece, especially on the retreat, just sending out a couple of stalkers to get those pickoffs. I think BYUN is so slowed down with this that it's not really going to be able to do too much damage, especially since charge is going to be complete here relatively soon. Now, Patience saying that he thinks he's pretty behind, but BYUN saying that he's talking about him, but yeah, these guys just kind of joking around with each other. But this is no joking matter right here, as BYUN going to be pushing up the ramp as quickly as possible, trying to bait those stalkers into a forward blink right on top of those Widow Mines. But right now, those Phoenix are going to get some pretty good lifts off. Does get those canceled, but those are going to get killed off before anything. And now BYUN on the retreat, and he's actually just going to tap out. So we are going to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see you guys there. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the stunning conclusion of this series. It is going to be big. It is going to be huge. And without further ado, this guy is larger than life, spawning in the bottom of Jagannatha. He is Patience, which I hear is his strong suit sometimes. And his opponent up here, the Micro King himself. He is BYUN. So a much bigger map here in Jagannatha. So I am expecting either a really fast game or a really long game. The good thing about a map like this is that it's a pretty straightforward path to your opponent's base. It does take a bit of time to get there, but once you get established, once you get that siege line going as Terran, it can be very difficult to break, because you do have a couple of siege tank positions near the natural that you can just siege up and exploit relatively well. Now we'll have to see what BYUN is going to be making first. If we see a Marine, it's going to be more Hellions, but right now it's actually going to be a Reaper. The distance is just so far that he's not even going to bother sending an SCV across. Not much else to say right now. Both sides just kind of playing it a little bit more standard. Kind of just gearing up for what is to come, and I'm sure what is to come is going to be fantastic. But we should be seeing BYUN kind of just dance around with his Reaper a little bit, trying to see what he can get done. I don't think he's really looking for kills here. He's just looking for that scouting information, hoping that Patience has thrown it down nice and early. But the thing is, he's not actually going to see it, because over here, we do have Patience dropping down that Stargate for another proxy play. If it ain't broke, don't fix it in Patience's book. Now, BYUN is going to be playing it pretty aggressive himself in terms of that third CC. So what that is going to allow him to do is just get that War Machine build up and running. Once he gets onto those 3 bases, he's literally just able to get so many units out very, very quickly. And the thing is, Patience is going to be delayed in getting that 3rd base for a little bit of time. So you are ahead in workers by the time any kind of attack hits. Now, BYUN is gearing up for a delayed 2-1-1 strategy as he prepares for these oracles to come in. The thing about 2-1-1 is that its power is in how quick it hits. So I'm interested to see what delaying it by this long is going to do to the build. But already getting some good damage done on that oracle. That is not going to be able to jump around right now. It is so low. Now, Patience. Just getting a couple of Phoenix. He's not really going to commit to that. Unlike the last game where he got a few, he's just got that one this time to see if there's any wayward medevacs that he can pick off. Behind this, we do see that he's going up to that Twilight Council, a couple of additional gateways, so we might see him go for a bit of a blink timing again off the back of this. I think with the fact that BYUN has no splash damage, no AoE right now, I think that's going to be a really good option for him. So BYUN going for the cheap pickoff there, but not going to get it. Stim is about 10 seconds from completing with that +1. So really BYUN can start to move out whenever he feels comfortable. The starport's not going to be on the way for a while, so he does have to be careful when he stims because there's going to be no healing energy with any of it. But still, he does have a pretty powerful army. And from there, he can move forward. The longer this goes on, however, the closer Patience is going to get to his base. He's going to be looking for those cleanups. But we did see BYUN cancel or salvage that bunker, so that is the indication that he is going to go on the attack. A little bit blindsided there is Patience. He's going to lose one stalker for free. Another one might actually fall as well. Few more just following in its tracks. The medevacs are going to be out here now, just about now, so all those weak units are going to be able to heal up after this. But still, BYUN needs to be careful about where he engages. He does not want to get those Marauders picked off, and this is still a pretty committed attack from Patience. Oh, that was such a risky pickup there, almost losing it to the Stalkers. But the third base is going to be pretty under fire here. BYUN dropped a couple of fresh mules, so that is not going to be good for his economy. 8 workers going down in the midst of this. So already Patience is getting massive amounts of work. But the thing is, BYUN, he is still ahead in terms of that worker supply. That is the power of the 3CC. Now it's funny because Patience is kind of just dancing between these two locations. He has to be careful not to lose too many stalkers on each side. That was not a good engagement for him. And now BYUN takes a 30 army supply lead. Now, as that Marauder count grows, just look at that. 3 Marauders in the production tab at all times. This is making it so much harder for Patience to get in here. They do have concussive shells as well, so blinking away isn't going to be enough anymore. And look at that, BYUN just cleaning up so many of those stalkers on the retreat. I think this is kind of his opportunity to start pushing further. Patience has kind of realized that these Stalkers are a little bit out of position. So just going to go try and pick off those reinforcements. Loses a few more on the retreat, however, and now BYUN has smelt the blood or Protoss oil in the water. And is going to go on the attack. We do have a nice little wraparound of Zealots going to try and hit from the back, but there are Marauders in position to deal with that, to soak up that hit. Trying to fight outside the range of the Guardian Shield as well, so these Zealots not getting the defense that they need. They are able to push back for a little bit, but the Widow Mines now going to get some amazing connections, and after those Zealots fall, I think Patience has to tap out. So BYUN takes the series 2-1. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you enjoy it, make sure you check down in the description below for all the information for when you can catch more Alpha Pro replay casts, as well as seeing the live events almost every single day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys at the next big event. Peace.